Alright, sure, let's go with this. Go hard mode, scene, there we go. Alright, hello, this is a bit of a odd video. I don't usually play Minecraft on this channel. No, this channel is mainly Halo. This channel is mainly, Toontown. But, at the end of the day, I'm not confining myself to any one game. I'm just a dude who wants to make some videos. And I make videos on whatever I feel like it. Or whatever I feel like, so. Today, that just so happens to be Minecraft. I'm choosing Minecraft because I don't have a plan for this video. I don't plan for this to be any sort of let's play. I don't plan on having this being some Minecraft series. And this is probably going to be a very one-off video. And Minecraft is just a very simple, relaxing game, right? Minecraft is very simple, very fun, creatively stimulating, But the reason why I'm here, right? I wanted to make a video because I guess I just wanted to hear myself talk for a little bit, I wanted to hear myself talk for a little bit. First off, it's also good practice talking into a mic by yourself, too. I guess, at least in my eyes, it just helps, with this YouTube thing. It helps with, I think it helps with just practicing your speech and whatnot, whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about, but you know what? That's the beauty. I don't need to know what I'm talking about. I am just a 23-year-old man playing Minecraft, talking to virtually nobody. I tried to do this video a couple of times before, but it always came out as like this almost like venti, preachy type. I really didn't want that. I may not be like feeling good or motivated right now. I'm really, I don't feel the best, but that's just life. You're going to have your ups and your downs. You're going to, and you know what? You gotta, like I typed in the world seed, you gotta fight through it. You have to, do what you can, with what you got. And, that reminds me of just, it just, that Boondocks quote just kind of helps. What do you do when you can't do nothing, but there's nothing you can do? You just do what you can. And, with this YouTube thing, I think it's just, it could apply in some very odd cases. I may not have the best editing software. I may not have the best equipment for this. But you know what? I'm just gonna do what I can. Because at the end of the day, I like making videos. A lot of the times I do try, I end up demotivated. Because honestly, it's hard not to think of the numbers, you know? It's hard not to think of that kind of stuff, especially when you're a creative type of person. One of the best things about humanity that makes us different from, you know, other species on Earth is that we don't just want to survive, you know, we want to create, we want to thrive, you know, we want to be happy. I don't want to be content, I want to be happy. I want to be proud of what I did, you know? And YouTube and something other people may not know about me, especially since I'm a very unknown YouTuber. I'm not a very known person in any online areas. Um, you know, to be creative, it's very hard because you want to be known for what you create. You don't want to just create, right? It's always so good to be recognized for what you create, to be recognized for the things that you made, um, and that's where like a lot of these people who are inspiring, that's where they come from. You know, they are known for what they create, and what they create is so inherently astounding and amazing that they inspire so many other people to either be better, to create themselves, or you know, just to keep moving forward. Uh, you know, I want to create something like that. Um, Everybody does, I think, in some cases. And there's a skeleton shooting at me. Can you get the hell away from me? I'm trying to be as intellectually stimulating as a 23-year-old can. I don't have a lot of life experience. Um, uh, so, kind of difficult, but you know, I do know enough uh, to where I know that that people are just so different in what they want, and you know, different in what they need as well. You know, one of the greatest things that I've or one of my greatest dreams, right? You know, it's I don't want to classify it as a dream, because a dream implies like this ethereal thing that is extremely hard, or it's just this far-fetched thing that you can't achieve. No, I consider it a goal more than anything, because you know, I see the word goal and it just feels it feels a lot better, and it kind of helps with it helps with relieving the fact that things may seem impossible. Um, and some things do seem impossible, I'll admit. It's, ow. You know, things are never easy. The things you want most are the things that you have to work the hardest for, I believe. You know, the things you long for the most, uh, the things you desire the most, the things you want, the things you want to achieve are are the hardest things to achieve or take the most time. In my case, my penultimate goal, you know, the goal that I want to reach before I eventually bite the dust, um, is to create an animated series. That may seem a bit silly, and you know, in some cases it is. You want to make a cartoon? Oh, grow up. You wanna make an animated series? Oh, grow up. It's, sometimes things just seem a bit, uh, things, seem a bit ridiculous, and, I'd argue that maybe longing for an animated series is kind of ridiculous. Some people would say that. I don't know who, but, some people would say it. That it's a bit of a ridiculous goal. And it's becoming night and I don't have a bed. But people would say it's a ridiculous goal. I've never met anyone who said it, but I imagine that there are some people who think that. Because, as an adult, you're supposed, maybe people see these cartoons or these anime and think animation is like, solely only for kids and whatnot. I disagree. I disagree very heavily, in fact. There could be very, cartoons could teach you very important lessons, I think. And, for me, for someone who just likes being creative, or likes to create, certain things, likes to create, characters and worlds and these very interesting stories with said characters, right? I think that there's a certain, like, it's just beautiful in a way, I guess. Animation is one of my favorite ways for storytelling. Um, it's one of my favorite mediums for storytelling. It's just so fun, right? Super exaggerated, super, can be silly, can be heart-wrenching at times too. But ultimately, that's my goal. That's what I want. And that's what I want to do before I die. Right? Just to put it in a very cynical sense, it's what I want to do before I bite the dust. And, some of my main inspirations for that would be Dragon Ball Z. Thank you, Toriyama, rest in peace. One of the greatest mangakas of all time, by the way. Huh, is that a village? I think it is. Let's go. But yeah. So another inspiration was Red versus Blue. I have a really odd mix of inspirations. You'll see with this third choice of mine. My third inspiration is very niche. It's very niche and very kind of a bit out there as well, right? It's a bit out there. If you've ever played Toontown before, yes, it kind of circles back to Toontown. If you ever played Toontown before, you'd know who a Mad Toontown Return is, maybe. What the fuck, dude? Can you get the hell away from me? Please? I'm doing something. I don't know what the fuck was that about. But I don't know if you ever heard of Mad Toontown Returns. But he's made and he still is making to this day. A Toontown animated series. It's very like it's very crude and very like simple animation, but it's still animation, right? But it's the story and how much he's able to convey with so little that's very just cool, You don't really think of his style because it's almost like you're watching a PowerPoint presentation of these characters with how they glide around the screen and the very basic and very crude animation that they that they undergo. But it's just it's super interesting, and it's one of my main inspirations ever. Like, my inspiration or my want to go into animation, it stems all the way back to, like, my childhood, right? I don't know if anybody remembers when Nickelodeon was airing Dragon Ball Z Kai, but it was from that moment on that I knew that I wanted to, like, animate my own series, or at the very least be, like, an animator of some sort. That's what, like, it was from then that's when I realized that animation was something I wanted to do. Right? It was from then on. And it really does bring me back because, you know, I remember the, like, the first stories that I ever made. You know, it's honestly reflected in, like, the first stories I ever made, because I used to do comic strips in school about, like, these wild crossovers between, like, Toontown and Halo, which is very weird. It's a really embarrassing to say, but, you know, it's whatever. You know, I did what I did. I was a kid. Um, you know, I made these sweet little comics about Toontown and Halo clashing universes. Uh, no Dragon Ball Z in those though, which is you'd be surprised since Dragon Ball Z also was my main inspiration. Um, I guess I didn't really know it at the time because I was just getting into it. I've been into Halo and Red vs. Blue and Toontown much longer than Dragon Ball Z. But in that sense, yes, I used to make those little comic stories and whatnot, as embarrassing as they they may seem. They're very embarrassing, honestly. But, you know, again, I was a silly little child, and when you're a child, you really don't care about how ridiculous something seems. You just want to make it, and you do make it. Um, but yeah, but circling back to my point about being creative and wanting to be recognized for your creativity, video making and making some videos, having fun with it too, is also one of my is also something that speaks to me. Maybe not as much as animation, but the whole reason I got into drawing and or the whole reason I got into drawing and animation is just simply um, was as a vessel to tell these stories of mine. It always was a vessel. It always has been a vessel for that. Um, and it's just looking back at where my story is now compared to where it was, the way it developed, the way things turned out, you realize you just get better at things as time goes on. I got a bit better as a story writer, and as a, not that I'm good at it at all. Hell no, I'm not nearly good at it, but I think it's very I think that you just ultimately get better at these kinds of things, because if you don't, then I guess you're just going through the motions. But when you age, you realize more things, and you realize just how much you actually are capable of, I guess. I haven't realized what I'm capable of yet. I still think that I'm just fairly mediocre at a lot of things. You know, I post art on Twitter, art of my characters, art of just funny little scenarios and whatnot. And you know what? For like what it's worth, it is fun, but it also does sting when you put a lot of effort into what you think is such a cool piece of work, and it just is like nobody gives a damn. Which, you know, growing slowly is a part of the process, but I guess you just have to deal with it, mainly because, you know, it's a part of growing. Not everybody blows up, very rarely anybody blows up overnight. That's just something that doesn't happen at all. But being creative, I guess, comes at the cost of people not recognizing what you can create for a very, 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 very long time. It is, in my opinion, super tough just to, you know, have these creative ideas because, you know, people just won't recognize what you have made. And like I said before, people want to be recognized for what they made, for what they make, right? People want to be recognized for the things they do. It's one of the reasons why I think people are so afraid of death. I don't really think they're just afraid of death because I don't think they're scared of like really dying. You know, someone who is content and someone who has done all they want in their life is really just kind of meh, you know? They're really kind of meh about dying because they've done all they wanted. They've done all they feel they needed to in their life. And you know, that's how I want to feel when the curtains close on the ridiculous show that is my life, right? I want to feel as if I'm content enough to die without leaving anything on the table. And for me, that's making an animated series. You know, for other people that may be, I don't know, getting a lot of money or whatever. I don't really think I'm doing it for the money. I don't think that's the case at all. I think that the reason why I'm doing it is because it's fun. And because telling stories is a great way to, I guess, show your thoughts and outputs on life. It's a way to show, you know, your appreciation for other crafts as well. Storytelling, I think, is a big part of the human experience, right? And to be a good storyteller, you know, you need, I guess, I don't know. I'm just rambling on and on. Nonsense, yapping. But I guess that's the point of this video, huh? The point of this video was to yap, and here I am yapping. Ain't it a beautiful thing? And, you know, creating something as mundane as a house in Minecraft could even feel very good because, you know, this is your house. You made it. You made it because you wanted to. You made it look the way you did because you wanted to, because you like it. Nobody told you you're not getting paid to make a house on Minecraft, you know? It's just, you're doing it because it's fun. You're doing it because it's, because you just really enjoy it, I guess. And despite what anybody may say, despite what people may say about you or anybody else, you know, ultimately I think you're the one in charge of your own life, and you're the one who needs to seize your opportunities where you can, and be weary of things along the way, I suppose. Don't get fooled by anyone. Don't let people lie to you. Yeah, don't let people fool you into thinking you have to do something. You know, your life is your own, and you should live it how you see fit. And I want people to remember this, right? Don't, if you truly feel like something is right, there's a balance to it. If you truly feel something is right, but other people, so many people, are telling you that it's bad, I don't think it's a bad idea to hear them out. But it's also good to be a little bit stubborn in what you want. You know, some things that you may want aren't particularly good, and you need people in your life to call that out. You know, you need people in your life to tell you that some things just aren't worth going for. That they aren't worth pursuing. You know, because believe it or not, there is some things that just may not be worth it. They may not be the healthiest thing. That may not be but you know, it's good to have, you know, friends, family to help you through that. I don't think anyone is completely alone in this world. I think you all have like at least one person who cares enough about you to help you through trying times. No. And I think it's important not to take that for granted as well. Live your life how you see fit, but just don't take the people in your life for granted. Don't listen to other people, but don't let them dictate your life, you know. There's a difference between advice and just straight up telling you what to do, I think. But yeah, you know, for me, you know, I think being an animator is my way to go. Being someone who can tell a story is the way I want to go, and the way I think I want to go. And you know, even though my art and my characters may not get a lot of likes on Twitter, I think you have to be stubborn to make your voice heard. And I'll admit I've fallen into the trap of extreme discouragement when it comes to numbers on your creative projects. How many likes, uh, how many reposts or whatever, how many times people look at it, how many views. I fall into that trap. I think I'm in that trap right now. You know, I'm feeling very deflated because people don't see what I make. And while people will tell you, be happy that you just made something, right? I mean, there's also just this component where it's like, I'm making my stuff to be seen. And it does hurt when people don't see it. You know, it hurts when people just don't seemingly react to the things that you made that you think are special. Or that you think are cool. And I guess that also just kind of coincides with you gotta be a bit stubborn with it. You gotta be a bit stubborn, you gotta be headstrong with what you create, you know? So, yeah, I think that, you know, people creating creating is difficult. Really, it really is, especially at the beginning where but you don't really have an identity. I don't think I have an identity for this channel at all. It's just me random videos playing games. And I guess that's like in some ways its own identity, but you know, it's something that a lot of people do, and it's something that a lot of people I really don't think consider special enough to pay any mind to. So, but you know, some people do latch on to personalities rather than actual videos. And if I'm being honest, I don't think I'm quite that captivating of a person at all. I think I'm just some average 23-year-old making his way through life. You know, I mean, I'm gonna be starting. I'm most likely gonna be a corrections officer soon. I took the test and I did pretty damn well on it. It's not the career I wanted, but I guess not everything could go your way, huh? You know, it's really to the point where I just feel like I won't be able to do anything with what I have, you know, with my creative side. And you know what? I don't know if it's I wouldn't say it's for the best, but things happen, I guess. Things just end up happening, and you can't really do anything about it. But then I just look at so many other people who started off so small, so niche. You know, even like Red versus Blue and Mad Toontown Returns. Um, you know, I kind of look at it, and, you know, I do wonder, uh, despite everything, despite me not being recognized, despite, you know, things not going the way you want, but things not, you know, your creative projects not, you know, getting the momentum or the traction that you want them to. You look at all these other people, and it's, you know, they all had to start somewhere too. And if they can do it, why can't I?